Yo, 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 what's up, fellas? Welcome back to the stream, week 3. We're an hour till kickoff, guys. Over the next 45 minutes to an hour, I don't know if I'm going to go live all the way up till lock, but for the next, 30 to 45 minutes, I'll answer any questions you have about this week's slate, whether that's, DFS questions, whether you have season-long questions, I can answer those as well. Appreciate all you guys being here, though. Before we get started with the Q&A part of the stream, I would appreciate if you guys would hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well if you're new here. I upload a ton of NFL content. You guys have been showing a ton of support on the videos lately. I appreciate all you tuning into the stream as well. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Also, check out PrizePicks, guys. PrizePicks, they're a sponsor of this stream. If you guys haven't signed up for PrizePicks yet, use promo code NOAH when you do sign up for PrizePicks. I think PrizePicks is running a little bit of a promo right now. Let me see. They said they were doing some sort of promo for Kyler Murray, and it was supposed to start at 12 o'clock. So I don't know if that promo is live yet, but let's see. His passing yard prop, so his passing yard prop is down to 260. It was at 280 before. So if you want to take the over on Kyler Murray's passing yards, you get a little bit of a discount right now. I think this only lasts for like 30 minutes or so. So for those of you that have a PrizePicks account, or you haven't signed up for PrizePicks yet, head over, take the over on Kyler Murray's passing yards because you're getting a little bit of a discount on it right now. And I think there's going to be a couple more of these like little flash discounts they're doing right before lock. So stay tuned for that. I think they're tweeting about it. I don't know, but check out PrizePicks and make sure to take that over on Kyler Murray's passing yards while it's discounted. I think it's only going to be discounted for like 30 more minutes. What's up, Matthew? What's up, Odufa? What's up, Suave? What's up, fellas? Happy Football Sunday, everybody. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get it. Let's get it, Victor. What's up, Noah? Good luck to you and to everyone today. Let's get this money. Hey, let's get it, Alec. Let's get it, my man. Noah, how's everything? I hope all is well. Doing well, LeVar. Doing well, my man. Hope all is well with you. Hope all is well with you as well. For flex, Galladay, Corey Davis, or Devin Singletary, I would. Ooh. So we got a report that like Galladay might be on some sort of pitch count today. I thought I got a notification that Galladay is active, but he might be like on a limit. That's a little bit worrisome, but I think I'd probably still take Galladay out of that trio. Like I think I would still take Galladay over Corey Davis and Singletary. It would be close between him or Corey Davis. The matchup, though, for Corey Davis and the game environment is just so bad. I mean, this Jets-Patriots game could literally have, like... Or Jets-Saints game, I think. Jets are playing the Saints this week, right? I want to make sure. I got those two confused. I think the Jets played the Patriots last week. The Jets play... Who did the Jets play this week? The Jets played Denver this week. I was so confused. New England plays the Saints. So, yeah, that's... I mean... Against Denver, that's a tough matchup. I would say it would be between Galladay or Davis. I'd probably just go Galladay there, Andy. Madison flex. I mean, yeah, Madison's a really good option. Now that we got word that Dalvin Cook is, unlikely to play, that was the big, kind of question mark heading into the slate. We got a report last night, Dalvin Cook's unlikely to play. So with Dalvin Cook out, I mean, Madison, he's 6K on Draftkings. He's super cheap on Yahoo. I think Madison's is a clear top option. I mean, last year whenever Cook was out games, like Madison was, I think one slate he was like 7K or something, and he was still like really popular that slate. He's probably going to be popular today, but 6K, he's going to get all the work. The only other running back they have active, I believe, is Amir Abdullah. So Madison should be a workhorse running back today. 6K in a good game environment and a high total. Yeah, he's a good option for sure. Madison, he became a top option for me whenever we got word that Cook was inactive. Or it's not official yet, but it seems like Cook's not going to play. What's up, Alvin? What's up, my man? Season long to put in the flex, Robert Woods or Sterling Shepard? I'd go Robert Woods, I think. I mean, Sterling Shepard I definitely like in this matchup against Atlanta, but Robert Woods, I think Robert Woods finally breaks out today. I mean, it's been back-to-back weeks now that Cooper Kupp has gone off. That's not going to happen every single week. At some point, Robert Woods is going to get multiple touchdowns, and it could definitely happen this week. I'm pretty high on Robert Woods overall today. Good afternoon, Noah. How you feeling about rolling with 2 of the top 4 tight ends in single entry? So if you're saying play Kelsey and Darren Waller, I mean, I guess you could do that. Like, if that's the way you want to go. I mean, Kelsey, if I'm paying up a tight end, Kelsey's the guy that I want. Rarely, it's hard to pay up a tight end because normally I prioritize getting in expensive running backs, expensive receivers over a tight end. But yeah, I mean, Travis Kelsey is a good play every single week. Not as high on Darren Waller today. Just don't like that game as much. But yeah, I think Kelsey's a really good option for sure. What's up, Noah? Are we talking about the main slate today, or are we talking about Sunday Night Football too? Just the main slate, Dylan. I ain't even looked at Sunday Night Football yet. I don't even really get into Sunday Night Football. I'm just on Sundays, man. I'm so focused on the main slate. I'm sweating my lineups for the main slate. I rarely even do Sunday Night Football stuff. Which 2 running backs from these 4 need to fill running back 2 in flex? Singletary, Gibson, Jamal Williams, Hines, running back Williams, McCaffrey. Thanks, champ. Prescott and Lamb, safe stack option, or pull Dak for Ben. Yeah, I think I would definitely play Prescott over Ben Roethlisberger, if that's who you're asking. But need to fill which 2 running backs from these 4? I would probably go Gibson. Is that Jamal Williams or Javonte Williams? I would probably go whichever Williams it is. I'd probably go Gibson and Williams. Chase Claypool or Marquise Brown on DK. I'd probably go Chase Claypool. Without Deontay Johnson, I think that's a pretty big boost for both Claypool and Juju. And I think Claypool, his big game last year came when Deontay was out. So, yeah, Chase Claypool I do have some interest in for sure now that Deontay's out. I probably would take him over Hollywood Brown, but that is a close one. Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson? I'd probably take Lamar, I think, PJ, but that's another close one. I mean, both those guys just project so similarly. I think Lamar might be more popular. Let's see. So quarterback ownership, Lamar's projected, at least with the projections that I look at, Lamar's projected for 13% ownership on DK. Josh Allen projected for 9%. So pretty similar. I would just take Lamar then in that case. Godwin or Evans? I think I'm leaning Chris Godwin today. I think both Godwin and Evans get very heavily targeted. I mean, without AB, I think a lot of, like, you might get double-digit targets today for both Godwin and Evans, but I think the matchup might be a little bit better for Godwin. Godwin plays a lot in the slot. Like, he should be able to avoid Jalen Ramsey. I don't know if Jalen Ramsey is going to shadow anybody, but I think Godwin should be able to avoid him for the most part. Evans usually just plays one side of the field. Like, they don't really move Mike Evans around. Godwin, they can put him in the slot. They can play him outside. So I would play Godwin, I think, over Mike Evans. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, is he a good look? I mean, yeah, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is for sure too cheap. Now, he's been terrible this year, but still, he's 4,800. Starting running back for one of the best offenses in the league. Good matchup, good game environment. The Chargers have been getting killed on the run this season. They've allowed the most rushing yards per game so far this year. It's a really good spot for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's super cheap too. I mean, I think cash games, he's probably a staple. Tournaments, he might be a little bit over-owned, but for 4,800, I still do have a good amount of interest in Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He still projects really well for his salary. His ownership, let's see what his ownership's coming in right now. I think it's going to be high, but probably not too high. I mean, 18% with the projections that I use, so 18% is high, but I don't think it's that high for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's still a good value, in my opinion. It's just such a good game environment. I mean, Chiefs, Chargers, we should expect a lot of points scored in that game, and Vegas agrees, obviously. Do you start Sammy Watkins or Corey Davis? I'm leaning Sammy. Better matchup for Sammy Watkins against the Lions. I'd probably take Sammy Watkins as well. Minnesota game, not scream Jefferson, Thielen, locks, and let everyone eat the Madison, or am I going crazy? I mean, yeah, Alec, I think in tournaments, great way to be different today is just play the passing game from Minnesota. Now, I do really like Madison. I think Madison's a really good play, but obviously he's going to be really popular. If you want to get different in tournaments, in a scenario where Madison does really bad or he, busts, it probably means that he's not scoring any touchdowns. If he doesn't score any touchdowns, that probably means that Kirk Cousins is throwing all the touchdowns. So, yeah, I think a great way to get leverage today, just don't play Madison and then play the, Minnesota passing game. I mean, I'm going to play probably 150 lineups today. I'm working on my lineups right now, like getting my crunches ready. I'm for sure going to have some, in lineups that don't have Madison, I'm definitely going to have some Cousins stacks with Thielen and Jefferson. What's up with Josh Jacobs? I don't think Josh Jacobs is playing today. Pretty sure he's already been ruled inactive. I think that came out a while ago, like yesterday or a couple days ago. But I don't know. I mean, Josh Jacobs, he had that 1 week, he got like 2 goal line touchdowns that game against Baltimore, and he was out last week, and he's doubtful. He's not going to play today. I don't know what's going on with Josh Jacobs. I don't know what kind of injury he's dealing with. Kyle Pitts or Noah Fant? I would probably go Kyle Pitts. Najee Harris or Joe Mixon? I think Joe Mixon probably gets a few more touches, but I think it's a better matchup for Najee Harris, so I would probably go Najee Harris. You like DK Metcalf at all? Yeah, I like DK Metcalf a lot. I think At some point, DK Metcalf is going to have the big game. It's back-to-back weeks so far that it's been Tyler Lockett, having big games. At some point, we're going to get, 150 yards and 2 touchdowns for DK Metcalf instead of Lockett. And it could definitely happen this week. So I think DK Metcalf, if I'm choosing a Seattle receiver to play, it's going to be DK for me over Lockett. I want to see what the ownership is on those two guys. I mean, they normally project very closely every single week. Right now, DK's coming in with 11% ownership, and Lockett's coming in with 13. So, I mean, there's no big discrepancy in ownership between the two, but I'd rather play I'd rather play DK. Season long, I have Adams, Evans, Hopkins, Mike Williams, Herb as my quarterback, and I'll only start 3 wideouts. Suave, I would definitely be starting Devontae Adams. I would definitely be starting Hopkins. Between Evans or Mike Williams, that's pretty close. I think Evans is probably my preferred between the two, but yeah, that is pretty close. I guess if you have Herbert, you could just play Mike Williams. But that's definitely a close one. I'm expecting a big day from A.J. Brown for Titans. He's overdue. Yeah, there's a lot of guys that are overdue. A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf. Who else? I think there's another receiver that's yet to put up a big game, but should at some point. Like Steph Diggs. Steph Diggs hasn't really had any big games yet. It's coming at some point. Yeah, there's a lot of guys that are due for a big 150-yard, 2-touchdown game. A.J. Brown's definitely one of them. Him and DK Metcalf, I think. Max Williams tight end punt. I mean, I would not be playing Max Williams. I rarely punt tight end because tight end, man, the cheap options at tight end just have no upside. Like, the cheapest that I would probably be going at tight end today is like Tyler Higbee, Jared Cook. I'm not playing like any of these punt options. I mean, most of the guys down here are like touchdown or bust. If they don't catch a touchdown, they're probably scoring less than 10 Draftkings points. So I try and keep my tight end exposure limited to like the mid-range and the top tier guys, obviously. Higbee's my favorite tight end for value, I think, definitely. Higbee's played every single snap back-to-back weeks. So you're getting an every down tight end in a good game environment, only 4K. Definitely Tyler Higbee's the guy I would be playing for cheap at tight end. Odell, I mean, yeah, Odell is super, super cheap. I'm a bit worried that, it's his first game since coming back from injury. We don't know if he's going to be on some sort of pitch count today. Like, are they going to play him, normal workload? We don't really know, but obviously Odell is super talented, has a ton of upside, and he's 5,300, I think. So he's risky, I think, but the upside's definitely there for Odell. And I said it, week 1, I don't know if we're going to have Odell I don't think Odell's going to be priced in the 5K range the entire season. He's going to get more expensive as the season progresses. So you might want to hop on him now while he's only 5,300. Shepard or Pittman? Sterling Shepard or Michael Pittman? I would take Sterling Shepard. Carson Wentz, do you think he can pull it off today? Like, the Colts win? I mean, probably not. Wentz, I don't even know if Wentz is fully healthy. I really like Tennessee's defense. I mean, I don't think Carson Wentz is fully healthy. I mean, he's been a pretty turnover-prone quarterback just throughout his career. And now he's got, banged-up ankles. I think both of his ankles are injured heading into this game. It didn't seem like he was going to play to begin with, and now he's, pushing to play. That kind of makes me like Tennessee's defense, honestly. Kupp or Justin Jefferson, I love both game environments, don't know what to do. I would probably say Cooper Kupp, Dylan, but man, yeah, that's a close one. Zacchaeus or KJ Osborne for value on DK. I mean, Osborne's going to be a lot more popular, but I would still probably take Osborne. I definitely prefer him over Zacchaeus. You honestly think Mixon going to be productive even with his volume versus Pittsburgh? I mean, the volume's going to be there, TJ. Is he going to be efficient against Pittsburgh's defense? Probably not. He might get 20 carries and only average 2 or 3 yards per carry. But the volume's going to be there, and that's what we really are looking for. We want guys that are going to get the touches, that are going to get all the goal line work, and Mixon's getting all that. He checks all the boxes. The one negative with Mixon this week is that, obviously, matchup against Pittsburgh, not ideal. But the touches are going to be there. It's just a matter of if he can be efficient with those touches. Punt tight end, Swaim? Nah, I mean, I'm not. Again, I don't really punt tight end. I don't play those cheap guys that are touchdown or bust, really. I try and avoid playing those guys that are touchdown or bust at tight end. Any update on Cook injury? Last we got, last night, Movie Hood, was that Dalvin Cook was leaning towards doubtful. So it seems like Dalvin Cook's not going to play. And I think like all the projection sites that I look at, they've, took him out of the projection. So everyone's pretty much assuming he's going to be out, I think. You play Gronk, Eckler, or Kelsey and Sony Michel. I'd play Gronk and Eckler there. Would you play Cook? It doesn't seem like Cook's going to play, so no, I would not. I would be very surprised if Dalvin Cook plays. If he does, I'm going to be screwed because I'm going to have a lot of lineups I'm going to have to fix because I have a lot of Alexander Mattison right now. Odell or Jamar Chase. Higgins out, but both play Steelers. Odell can be a risk. This is for cash games. I mean, for cash games, Dylan, I don't know if I'd be playing either one of those guys in cash games. If I had to pick one, though, it'd be Jamar Chase. I mean, Jamar Chase is definitely safer. He's obviously not coming back from an injury like Odell is. How do you make 150 different lineups? My goodness. I mean, you use a lineup builder, Matthew. I don't build 150 lineups by hand. You got to use a lineup builder. But with a lineup builder, you got to tweak. It's not going to just spit out 150 good lineups for you. You have to go in, tweak the projections, tweak the exposures, kind of get things how you want them, get the stacks that you want. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now. I still got plenty of time. I still got 40 minutes till lock, so I can get everything finalized before lock. Godwin or Evans? Again, I think I prefer Godwin. I think Godwin's going to avoid Jalen Ramsey for the most part because Godwin can play in the slot. They move him around, whereas Evans normally just sticks to one side of the field. Like, we don't really know if Jalen Ramsey's going to shadow anybody today, but it seems like if he were to shadow somebody, it probably would be Mike Evans. Just because Mike Evans tends to just stay on one side of the field. Mahomes or Kyler Murray? I mean, I would probably play Kyler. I think Kyler just projects better. But again, that's going to come down to like your lineup. If you have Tyreek Hill in that lineup, you probably want to play Mahomes. If you have Kelsey in that lineup, you probably want to play Mahomes. If you have DeAndre Hopkins in that lineup, you probably want to play Kyler. But just straight up, I would take Kyler. Marvin Jones or Claypool over Mike Evans because of Rams defense. I think I would still be playing Mike Evans over those guys, Riley. I think the targets will be there for Mike Evans. Mike Evans is a big guy. Like, even if Jalen Ramsey shadows Mike Evans, I don't think Ramsey's just going to completely shut him down. Especially without AB. I mean, we might get double-digit targets for both Evans and Godwin today. So, I would still take Mike Evans there. Thoughts on Hopkins? I mean, Hopkins is a good option. I'm concerned a little bit about this injury. His projection compared to some of these other top-tier receivers is a lot lower. Like, he's a lot lower projected than Tyreek Hill, even Steph Diggs. He's even lower projected than Cooper Kupp. I think DeAndre Hopkins will be very low owned today. So anytime you can play a talented receiver like DeAndre Hopkins at super low ownership, I mean, I'm all good with that. But, if I'm playing any of the top-tier receivers, if I just have one pick, it's probably going to be Tyreek Hill for me. But if you want to go to Hopkins for low ownership, yeah, go ahead. Godwin or A.J. Brown? I would probably take Godwin, Dylan. That's a close one, though, but I'd probably take Godwin. Flex, Travis Kelce or DeAndre Hopkins? Man. I would probably take Kelce over Hopkins, I think. That's another close one, but I think I would take Kelce over Hopkins. Is Madison in play? Yeah, absolutely. Madison is definitely a top option now that Dalvin Cook is not expected to play. Keep an eye on the, around 3 o'clock Eastern, we should get updates. We should get word whether or not Dalvin Cook's playing. I assume he'll be out, but definitely check, make sure, confirm that Dalvin Cook's going to be out before you just jam in Madison. But right now, I'm building my lineups assuming Cook is out, so I have a lot of Madison. AJ Green or Kirk? I would go Christian Kirk. Keenan Allen's going to eat today? Hey, I hope so. I've got a good amount of Keenan Allen as well. I was very high on Keenan Allen last week. He did okay. I was a little bit disappointed in a good matchup against Dallas. I was expecting a little bit more from Keenan Allen, but another good matchup, another good game environment this week in a high-scoring game against the Chiefs. Yeah, I'm going right back to Keenan Allen. I'm going right back to Justin Herbert. All those Chargers I like again this week. Julio or Mike Evans? Oh, man. That's another close one, Alvin. Gosh. I'd still probably take Mike Evans, but, man, that's close. Like, Julio, Mike Evans, that's a coin flip. Godwin and Evans is a coin flip, but I lean Godwin. There's some of these questions, man, they're so tough to answer. I would probably take Evans, though. Mahomes, Murray, or Stafford? I mean, for me, that would be Kyler Murray. But again, it's going to come down to your roster construction. Like, what receivers are you playing? Are you playing any of those quarterbacks receivers? But just straight up, who scores the most points between those three? I would probably take Kyler. He's the one that projects the best out of those three. TJ Hawkinson or Kyle Pitts? I think I lean TJ Hawkinson, but that's another super close one for me. I think Hawkinson, just the value or the volume that he's going to get with, with Detroit playing from behind every single week, with them likely playing from behind again this week, we might get 10, 11, 12 targets for TJ Hawkinson like on a weekly basis. So TJ Hawkinson is going to be almost a guy you can play just about every single week as long as he doesn't get too expensive. And obviously this week, only 5,200, he's not too expensive. Is it okay to stack Kirk and Green with Murray? Yeah, you could definitely double stack for sure. I mean, double stacking in tournaments is usually the way to go. The best way to capitalize on ceiling and upside, when a quarterback throws, if a quarterback throws 3 or 4 touchdowns, it's very likely that, there's going to be multiple receivers that do well because of that. So there's a good chance that Kyler Murray throws 4 touchdowns today and 2 of them goes to Kirk, 1 of them goes to Green, 1 of them goes to Hopkins. If that's the case, you definitely probably want to have 2 of his receivers with him. I always make sure, in my lineup builder, I make sure to include like double stacks because I want to have, double stacks in my lineups. That's something that people don't do enough, is stack 2 receivers with the quarterback, but it's definitely a good way to go in tournaments. Russ, Mahomes, or Stafford? I'd probably take Mahomes there. Red. Thoughts on this team? Don't even say out loud. Okay, I got you. I got you, Dylan. Fields, Barkley, CEH, Keenan Allen, Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp. I think that's pretty solid, Dylan. I mean, cash games, like Fields is definitely a point per dollar wise, he's a really good value option at quarterback. He's projecting out as one of the top quarterback values today. Justin Fields is. And the rest of those guys, I think, are all cash viable. Jamar Chase is probably the one guy maybe I wouldn't be playing in cash, but yeah, the rest looks good. Like, what's Jamar Chase's price? Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's any other guys I'd play in that price range over him. Yeah, so like if you could get to Robert Woods, I would definitely be playing Robert Woods over Jamar Chase in cash games. That's just me, though. How you like Jamar Chase this week? I mean, yeah, Jamar Chase is in play for sure, especially with T. Higgins out. I mean, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, both those guys definitely get a boost. Tyler Boyd, I think, is a guy I'm going to make sure to get in some tournament lineups. He's super cheap. He's 4,700 on DK. He's cheap on Yahoo as well. I think Cincinnati's going to be throwing a lot in this game against Pittsburgh. They're probably going to be playing from behind. So you should get a good amount of volume for both Chase and Boyd. They're tournament plays for me. I don't think they're guys I'd be playing in single entry or cash games, but definitely good tournament plays for sure. Is Gronk in play? I mean, yeah, Gronk's in play. I'm worried about his price, though. He's starting to get really up there in price point. I mean, he's like 5,500 now. Like, I think I'd rather play TJ Hawkinson over Gronk if I'm just going to one of those 5K tight ends. But if Gronk's just going to catch 2 touchdowns every week, yeah, he's going to be a good option. But does that continue this week? I don't know. Probably not. Best defense? Normally, I try and pay down at defense. So, like the Bengals against Ben Roethlisberger, I mean, Ben's been terrible so far this year. And Ben's taken a lot of sacks. He's throwing interceptions. So I think the Bengals defense is a cheap option against Ben. Makes a lot of sense. Again, we talked about Carson Wentz and how he's probably not 100% today. So you got the Titans defense at home for 2,400. I like the Titans defense a lot for cheap. Yeah, I tend to pay down at defense though. So like the Titans, the Bengals, even the Jets against Denver. That's kind of what I'm looking to for cheap defenses on DK. Who's your top quarterback option? I mean, just the quarterback that probably scored the most points today. It's gotta be Kyler Murray. But in my lineups, right now, my highest owned quarterback is Justin Herbert. Because I'm going right back to the Chargers stack. So Herbert with Keenan Allen, Herbert with Mike Williams. I was very high on that stack last week. It didn't work out. I'm going right back to it this week. I'm getting a lot of that Chiefs Chargers game for sure. I can get to Robert Woods. Is it okay have both Kupp and Woods in the same lineup, running it back with Godwin? Yeah, definitely fine, Dylan. I mean, Kupp and Woods are both just getting so much volume right now. And it's a great game environment. It's a high total game. You can definitely play those 2 guys together. Thoughts on Daniel Jones? I think Daniel Jones is a sneakier option. I don't think he's going to come in with much ownership. Let's see what his ownership is right now. I think Saquon's going to get a lot of ownership at running back, and I think Saquon's a really good play today. So a good way to get different in tournaments is just don't play Saquon and play Daniel Jones and his pass catchers. Yeah, right now Daniel Jones coming in with 8% ownership on DK, which is fairly low. Saquon, what's Saquon's ownership? Saquon coming in 17%. I think it'll be higher than that, but yeah, Daniel Jones, he's been good, man. He's been good so far, especially for for fantasy. Cordell Patterson, a good cheap option. I'm not playing Cordell Patterson. I know he had a good game last week, but I think if you play Cordell Patterson this week, you're probably just point chasing. I mean, in my opinion, he's still the backup running back behind Mike Davis. And like his stat line last week, I think it was like really fluky. Like he got 2 touchdowns. I mean, when does Cordell Patterson ever score 2 touchdowns? Yeah, he had 7 carries for 11 yards, so his efficiency was terrible. He scored a goal line touchdown though. He had 5 catches for 58 yards, so he was involved in the passing game a good amount. But again, I think Mike Davis is the #1 running back for Atlanta. Cordell Patterson probably gets like 8 to 10 touches. I'm not playing Cordell Patterson. Easy fade for me. He's not even in my player pool. I X'd him out. Thanks for the info. Sorry if I jinxed the McCaffrey injury on your last live. Funny how that works, Alvin. Funny how that works. We talked about, in the Thursday night slate how if you didn't play Christian McCaffrey, you were pretty much just lighting your money on fire. And sure enough, Christian McCaffrey was not even in the winning lineup. He got injured. Funny how that shit works, man. But you didn't jinx it. You didn't jinx it. Is it a good idea to pay up for wide receiver? I mean, yeah, there's always good options at wide receiver. Normally I tend to pay up at running back, but this week, with Dalvin Cook pretty much off the board, not playing, I don't think you need to pay up at running back this week. There's so many good mid-range options. Najee Harris, Saquon Barkley, Madison's a good option now. You got CEH for cheap. I think receivers, I'm more likely to pay up at receiver today than I am running back, I think. Especially now that Dalvin Cook's not on the slate anymore. AJ Brown is going off today? Hey, we'll see, Gabriel. We'll see. What's my exposure to AJ Brown right now? In the latest crunch I ran, let's see how much AJ Brown I'm getting. I mean, I think I do have a good amount of Ryan Tannehill stacks. Where's AJ Brown at? Let's see. I got 17% AJ Brown. That feels pretty good. Him and Julio, I think, I'm going to want to have some stacks of. Pretty much every week, you're going to want to have some Tannehill stacks with his receivers. Because the upside's definitely there for both those guys. Tyler Boyd or Marvin Jones. I think Marvin Jones is probably the guy I would prefer there. But that's a close one, PJ. But I would probably side with Marvin Jones. I think the target share for Marvin Jones is a little bit more secure. And the matchup's a little bit better against Arizona. But again, that's another close one. What are your top prize picks? Let's see. I gave out some prize picks on Patreon, so I don't want to give out too much. But like the Kyler Murray prop, if you guys missed it earlier, they put a discount on his passing yards. So for the next I don't know how long this is going to last. For the next 11 minutes, you can take over 260 passing yards for Kyler Murray. So that's basically like a free one if you want to do that. His projection before, I think, was 280. So you're getting a little bit of a discount on that one. So obviously, I like the over on Kyler Murray's passing yards. I like the over on Stafford's passing yards. I don't think, especially with Darrell Henderson unlikely to play, I don't see the Rams running the ball much today, especially against this good Tampa Bay defense that's been elite against the run. There's a good chance Matthew Stafford throws the ball 45 times a day. So I like the over on his passing yards. That's another kind of quarterback over I'm looking at. And Trevor Lawrence's passing yards as well. Another game I think, we're going to see Jacksonville playing from behind. Arizona plays fast. That should allow for, more possessions for Trevor Lawrence in this offense. Over 252 passing yards. That's another one I like. So those are 3 kind of quarterback ones you could do if you want to do those. But definitely take the over on Kyler Murray's passing yards while it's still discounted. Should I play Rondale Moore? I mean, I think you can definitely play him in tournaments, especially, in lineups that have Kyler Murray. I don't know what's his ownership. I mean, Rondale Moore, obviously, he went off last week, so his ownership might be a little bit inflated today. It's only 6.5%. That's not too bad, but his price is up now. He's up to 5K. But I would definitely have interest in Rondale Moore in tournament lineups with Kyler Murray. But just as a one-off, I don't think I'd be playing Rondale Moore as a one-off. I mean, I don't think I'd be playing Swift in cash games, Dylan, but the rest I do like. But yeah, I don't think I'd be playing Swift and cash this week. I would just play, like, go down to CEH and then upgrade somewhere else. Herbert or Dak for season long this week? Thinking around Herbert, a lot of throwing, playing from behind. I think I would probably side with Herbert as well. I mean, Dak's been great so far this year, but I love this matchup for Herbert. I love the game environment. I think if we ever get, a 350 yards, 4 touchdown type of game from Herbert, it could probably be today. Should I play Derrick Henry for 8,600? I mean, you can definitely play Derrick Henry. He's the best expensive running back in my opinion. If I'm paying up at running back, I mean, he's the guy that I'm playing. But I don't think you need to pay up at running back today. There's good mid-range options, especially in, now that we have Madison available in the mid-range. You've got value with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, so I don't think you need to pay up for Henry today, but he's the best pay-up option if you're going to pay up, in my opinion. Galladay and Mike Evans or Woods and Madison? Give me Woods and Madison. Are you stacking Herbert with both Allen and Williams? Yeah, I'm definitely going to have lineups with both those guys. I make sure, in the lineup builder, I make sure to get double stacks in there. And that's for sure probably going to be one of my highest owned double stacks. Herbert with Williams and Allen, and probably Stafford with Kupp and Woods is going to be another double stack I have a lot of exposure to. Diggs or Lockett? I'd probably go Lockett, Dylan, but man, that's another close one. That's another just coin flip. Best running back under 5,500 on DK. I mean, for me, it's probably got to be Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Like, I don't think there's anyone. The only guy I could play in this 5K range would probably be Mike Davis. I mean, Mike Davis, even though Cordell Patterson had a good game last week, Mike Davis still got 16 touches. He got a lot of usage in the passing game. His volume should be there on a weekly basis, but the best running back under 5,500, in my opinion, is Clyde Edwards-Helaire. All right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap up the stream here. I got to fix up these lineups. I got to get everything entered and get into the contest that I want to get into. So I wish you guys the best of luck today. Thanks, as always, to everyone for tuning into the stream. Hopefully, I was able to answer everybody's questions. Week 3, good luck, fellas. Good luck today.